Hi, Henry. Thank you for coming in today. How are you doing?
Doing good. How are you?
I'm wonderful. I see Catherine isn't with you. Did she have something to do today?
Yeah, unfortunately, she couldn't make it in today. She had some stuff at work that she had to take care of.
Okay, no worries. So I'm just going to go through this plan that we created for you. I'm not going to go through the whole thing. We just don't have time to go through the whole thing.
Gotcha.
So I'm just going to try to hit the high points, the parts that I think are best just for you.
Sounds good.
So the first thing I want to go over is how we even created this plan. So there's this thing called a Monte Carlo analysis. It runs a simulation of 1,000 different trials, and it basically tells you the likelihood of your plan succeeding. So we run it with your current plan, and then we also run it with the plan that we recommend for you.
Okay.
So right now, as your plan stands, with the goals that you expressed to us, your plan has a 43% chance of succeeding.
Gotcha.
That's not very good.
Not good.
So we're aiming for higher, obviously.
Gotcha.
So with the plan we've created for you, we've taken in your risk tolerance, your time horizon, your goals. With the plan we've created, our plan has an 87% probability of success.
Awesome.
So that puts you,
Yeah, that's way better.
yeah, a lot better. So before we get into it, I just kind of want to go over the goals that you expressed to us. So let's see.
Yeah, I might need a refresher. It's been a while since we've filled that out.
Yeah. So let's see. Some of your most important goals, being able to just continue your lifestyle in retirement, so your basic living expenses, being able to afford health care, now and into retirement, travel each year, now and into retirement as well, pay off your mortgage, buy retirement. Let's see. You want to be able to get new vehicles for you and Catherine every 4 years. College for Harrison, Joseph, and Megan at Texas Tech. In our plan, we've planned for tuition books and fees, as well as room and board. There are plenty of options there.
Gotcha.
Let's see, funding Megan's wedding, anniversary celebration each year, care for Catherine's mom, home improvements, and then your vacation home, and then the bequest you want to leave to the church and to your 3 children.
Yep.
And those were listed in priority, in order of priority.
Gotcha. Okay.
Let's see. So the first thing I want to go into will just be your cash and debt management.
Okay.
So the first thing I want to talk about is just kind of your overall financial health. This is just, you want to look at this so you can see kind of a picture of where you are now and where you could be potentially. So the first thing we look at in this process is your cash flow. So we just look at your income, which is obviously your income, Catherine's income, and then we look at your expenses, and then from that we can determine your discretionary cash flow, which is just the cash flow that goes unused. You can spend it on, whatever, save it.
Gotcha.
And then we go into your net worth. So your net worth statement takes into account your assets, all the things that you own, and then your liabilities, all the things that you owe. And when you subtract those, you come up with your net worth.
Okay.
You and Catherine are in a really healthy position. Your net worth currently is about 2.6 million.
Okay. It's always good to hear.
Yeah, you guys are in a good spot. So another way of evaluating your financial health is doing this through ratios.
Okay.
So there's multiple different ratios we go through. So for example, a debt ratio. This tells us how much of your assets are tied up in your debt.
Okay.
So your debt ratio right now is about 15%. That's really good. Less than 30, you want to be lower than 30%, and you're at half of that. That's awesome. You and Catherine have done an excellent job of staying away from high interest debt like credit cards.
Awesome. I
Yeah.
appreciate that.
Yeah. Let's see.
Yeah, I'd say one thing that is very important to us is Catherine kind of has a different point of view of debt than I do. I don't really like debt of any kind, but she views it as a tool for leverage and
Yeah.
things like that. But yeah, so I'd say we kind of meet somewhere in the middle on there, but
Yeah, you guys have actually compared to a lot of clients we work with, you guys are in an excellent standing in regard to your debt.
awesome.
So that's just kind of an overview of your financial health. You guys are doing really well, and you have potential to, meet all your goals.
Awesome.
So the first thing I want to talk about is your emergency fund.
Okay.
So this is just a fund you put away for emergencies. Obviously, if you or Catherine were to lose your job, or if there was some, unexpected illness or accident or something that was unexpected that happened that caused you a financial hardship, this is where you want that emergency fund to come in.
Gotcha.
So usually recommended for an emergency fund is 3 to 6 months worth of expenses.
Okay.
So for you guys, for someone who doesn't have, children and all types of bills to pay, usually 2 to 3 months is safe. But since you guys do have kids and, all of your different expenses, we calculated about 4 months,
Okay.
which you could go higher if you wanted to.
Gotcha.
But we think with y'all's income, 4 months will be sufficient. So we recommend about $72,000. We just rounded that up to put in an emergency fund. We recommend you take this just from Catherine's savings account and put it in a high interest earning savings account and delegate that solely for emergency fund purposes.
Just in case anything ever happens.
Yeah.
Okay. Sounds good.
And then let's see. Then we want to talk about your debt. So your mortgage, you did tell us that you want to pay off your mortgage by retirement, which is absolutely doable. You guys have awesome discretionary cash flow. You could easily do this. It would kind of change the course of the other goals. So in order to pay off your mortgage by retirement, which would be year 2041, you would have to pay, about $12,000 each year more
Okay.
between now and retirement for it to be paid off by 2041.
Okay.
However, this isn't what we recommend because your mortgage has a lot of tax advantages. If you just paid your mortgage out in full through the life of the loan, it would only be 10 years later that your mortgage is paid off, so in 2051. And when you have a mortgage, you're paying interest on the mortgage, and that interest is tax deductible.
Oh, yeah, good to know.
So that's really useful.
Definitely.
So that's why we don't recommend you pay it off early, but you absolutely can. It's an option for you.
Yeah, gotcha.
Let's see. And then in regards to refinancing, we don't recommend it. The interest rate you have now on your mortgage loan is really low, one of the lowest we've seen in the past 40 years. If you were to go out and try to get a new mortgage loan right now, interest rates are going to be around 6-7%, maybe higher.
Gotcha.
And right now you have 4.6. So that's an awesome interest rate. We don't recommend you refinance at this time.
Yeah, we were thinking about that when we were initially talking to you, but after talking, some of our friends, hearing what they were getting on mortgage rates, yeah, it doesn't make sense to do a refi right now.
Yeah, it would definitely hurt you more than it would help you.
Gotcha.
So that's our recommendation. Let's see. With your vehicles, we just suggest you continue purchasing them the way you have been. Leasing is an option for you guys. Since you guys do want to go get a new car every 4 years, leasing could be a viable option for you.
Okay.
Just because leasing makes it easier to go in and out of a car faster. However, there are setbacks with that. Leasing companies can often throw unexpected fees on you when you go to return the vehicle for mileage or wear and tear or what have you. They almost always throw on unexpected fees.
Gotcha.
Whereas if you bought your car, you can drive it wherever you want
Yeah.
for however many miles and do whatever wear and tear you want, and
Gotcha.
nobody can say anything to you. Plus, if you're buying vehicles that have decent resale value, you can have a gain whenever you sell the car.
Good to know.
So we suggest you buy them, but leasing is an option for you.
Okay.
Let's see. And then Catherine's student loan. So her balance right now is slightly over $40K. This isn't like a significant amount of money. And since this wasn't really at the top of your list of goals, we don't really recommend, making extra payments or paying it off.
Okay.
However, you can. It's always an option. You can just use discretionary cash flows as the years go on and just make extra payments here and there if it's kind of nagging you or whatever.
Okay. Good to know.
And then also continue making those minimum payments, and then also apply for student loan forgiveness programs. There's PAYE, and then there's also public, the PSLF, which is the Public Service Loan Forgiveness.
Okay.
We suggest you apply for those.
Gotcha. I'll make sure to let her know about all of that.
Yeah. And since she's been at Texas Tech for more than 10 years, it's likely she'll get that granted to her.
Awesome.
So now I just want to do an overview of your short-term goals.
Okay.
So your short-term goals, which is the goals that you want to have accomplished in the next 5 years, you have caring for Catherine's mom, traveling, your anniversary, and then within the next 5 years, Harrison and Joseph will start college.
Crazy.
Yes. In 2024, Harrison will go to college. So we've calculated the totals for each of those things, and we've come to the conclusion that you can pay for all of these things through your 529 and your discretionary cash flow alone.
Okay.
And you don't have to make any contributions to your 529. You can use what's in there.
Gotcha.
And then everything else you can take straight out of your discretionary cash flow. Yeah.
Awesome.
Let's see. All right, so now I want to move into education funding.
Okay.
Let's see. So you guys currently have 529 plans, which is awesome. I believe you have it in the Lone Star 529.
Lone Star currently.
Okay, and you guys have about 25K in each one. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay.
For each kid.
Okay. So we ran a capital needs analysis on this, came up with how much it will cost for you to put Harrison, Joseph, and Megan through college. Right now, like say you wanted to just put all the money you needed aside to pay for their college right now, you would have to invest about $268,000.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, that's a lot. That would take a hit on your portfolio. However, like I said, Harrison and Joseph's college can be paid for right out of your discretionary cash flow, and same with Megan. This is why your discretionary cash flow is like super
Important.
Yeah.
Definitely.
So you have a lot of options. You can do savings bonds, mutual funds, and then 529 plans, which is what we suggest. There's other options like Coverdale savings accounts,
Gotcha.
Roth IRAs. But however, you guys, with your level of income, you don't qualify for those options.
Gotcha.
So we do recommend just staying with your 529. However, we do suggest you roll it over to a different 529 plan. Let me see the specific one. The DC College Savings Plan.
Okay.
It has really good ratings, really low fees, and it has a bunch of different investment options, age-based and static-based. So you can explore those and look at.
And we can still enroll in that even if we're living in Texas?
Yeah. The majority of 529 plans you can enroll in no matter what state you're in.
Awesome.
Certain ones have limitations. But if you wanted to look into it more, savingforcollege.com, it's a great resource that you can go and kind of look at all the different ones that are available to you.
Okay, might check that out.
Yeah. Let's see. And then I don't want to touch on risk management today without Catherine. I don't want to touch on retirement. I do want to talk about taxes with you though.
Okay.
Let's see if I can find where taxes are.
Yeah, that's something.
How do y'all typically, like when y'all typically do your taxes, do you guys just do it by yourself at home?
Yeah, we self-prepare.
Okay. Um, so really when you're looking at taxes, you just want to find techniques to minimize them
Okay.
legally. You don't want to evade your taxes. Big trouble there. So there's multiple ways you can do this. One, you want to max out your retirement accounts. With an employer match on a retirement account, if you're not taking advantage of that, you're just like giving up free money.
Gotcha.
Because your employers they'll just match it for you. So we recommend you max those out. Contribute as much as you can that your employer will match.
Okay. Sounds good.
We also recommend you look into flexible spending accounts, which are kind of like health savings accounts.
Okay.
These are accounts that you can contribute pre-tax income, and then you can use that pre-tax income for medical expenses that are qualified under the plan, so medications, physician visits,
awesome.
whatever.
Okay.
Which is usually provided under retirement accounts that you get through
Okay.
work.
Awesome.
And then your charitable donations. You guys make, I think it's around like $28,000
Yeah.
in charitable donations. And looking at your tax return, you're really not getting any tax benefits from this right now, which
Yeah.
you could get huge ones.
Right.
So if you donate, I think it's called a 501c3 nonprofit company. Most of them are nonprofits. By donating to these, that could be, you can deduct this off your taxes.
Oh wow. Okay.
And that's a lot, $28,000. Like,
Definitely.
that'd make a big impact.
That'll be definitely something that we have to look deeper into. That's quite a big deal that we're missing.
Yeah. And then another thing you want to, so for your business, for your sole proprietorship, you want to look into business expenses
Okay.
that you can deduct.
Gotcha. So yeah, what are some things that are included with that, you know?
I'm not sure specifically. I know like if you bought a new computer or if you drove your car, somewhere for the business, or if you bought supplies that you needed, anything like that that's related to the business, they're deductible expenses for your business. So I would take advantage of that.
Definitely.
Let's see. And then you just want to look at additional adjustments to your income, starting at health savings account. You can look at self-employed SEPs, stuff like that. And then also, since Catherine is a professor, you could look at educator expenses. That could also be deductible on your taxes.
Oh, interesting. I'll have to let her know about that.
Yeah. And then for most of these things, since we're not tax experts, we recommend you consult a CPA,
Gotcha. Okay.
which we can refer you to. We have some on site, and we also just have some that we have their contacts that we can give you.
Okay. Good to know. Yeah. I think after hearing all the things that we're missing, I think that's probably a good idea for us to start having a professional prepare our tax.
Yeah. You guys could be paying a lot less in taxes, which increases your discretionary income. So, so I don't think I want to cover anything else without Catherine, because most of these kind of require Catherine's input and opinion.
Definitely.
So I think that's all we're going to cover today. Do you have any questions for me?
No, I think you did a good job covering everything. Yeah, I'll try and make sure Catherine's here next time, but I appreciate the overview of these topics. It's been great.
Yeah, absolutely. So we can set up a meeting, how's like a month from now? Does that sound good?
Sounds great.
Awesome. All right, well, I'll get that put in for you, and then I'll see you and Catherine in a month.
All right, sounds good.
Awesome.